Hey guys, Gene here. I want to show you how to color match. I want to show you how to color match like a layman. I want to match this color, and I don't want to just print off thousands and thousands of different swatches trying to just almost randomly nail down that color. I want to show you something that'll speed you up a little bit, and we don't need any tools. Everything here that I'm going to show you is totally free, of course, other than my copy of Adobe Illustrator that I'm going to use. But I've got this customer fictitiously that wants me to print this blue, and so I'm going to show you how to do that pretty easily. First thing we're going to do is open up the FireSprint color swatch generator. These tools, there's a light version here and a pro version. You can see the URL change up there. The pro version just gives me a few more features. You can absolutely do this with the light version, but I'm going to use the pro version. Both are free, but the pro version requires that you log in with your firesprint.com account. So you have to have a firesprint.com account to use the pro version. Otherwise, you can go right to this URL and start using the light version today if you are not a member of FireSprint. So I've got this blue here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and kind of come close to picking it. Now, if I have a Pantone number, I might choose a Pantone number that I think is close, but I don't have a Pantone number in this case. So I'm just going to go start trying to pick a close color to what I think this shade of blue is. And so I'll hold this up to the monitor here and see what I think. To get a little closer, I go a little darker there and pick something that I think will work. Now, one of the things I'm going to change in the settings here, I'm going to go to the settings and I'm going to go to wide. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me a wider range of color on the swatches here. And I want the swatches to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go 8 by 10 maybe. And that'll just make the swatches a little larger as they fill in. So I can close that. And so you can see now I've got a wider range. I've got this lighter blue here and this really dark blue down there. And at least for my initial print, I want to use that wider range. And then after I kind of dial in the color, I can tighten this up a little bit. So here's the trick is I'm going to save this as a PDF to my desktop here. And sorry, I got to move myself out of the way a little bit. I'm going to save this as a PDF to my desktop. I'm just going to replace an existing file. And then I'm going to go into Illustrator, and I'm not going to just open that PDF and print it, because then I'm trying to deal with the color conversion of how Illustrator interprets the CMYK colors. I'm just going to go straight to the source. So this is the logo that I'm going to change the color on, and I'm going to print that logo out of this file. This will be my final file that I use, and that way I'm maintaining all of the color settings that this file may have. So I'm not going to get in here and change any of this, but I just using, I'm trying to eliminate as many variables as possible. So I'm going to place that PDF right here, and it's going to give me this information, arrange, send to back, and it gives me my logo up front. I'm gonna put my logo up here. And you can, there's 100 ways to do this. This is kind of how I'm doing it. And just for fun, I'm gonna take that logo and I'm gonna go ahead and eyedropper this. So I'm going to embed this and make sure that my eyedropper is pulling the correct. Again, I'm just trying to remove as many variables as I can. Make sure that my eyedropper is pulling that color. And then I'm going to print it. Okay. So I'll print that to my brother printer here. And I could expand that. I could do whatever I wanted to, but essentially I'm trying to see how close I can get to this. So I'll be right back. I'm back. I have this, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start visually comparing, and you can see kind of through the monitor there, I'm not that far off. I'm getting pretty close. One of these swatches is probably darn close. So I'm going to fold a row of swatches over, and you can always put fewer swatches on the page and expand them. You can print larger, make it a little easier to find it, but I'm going to fold those over, and I'm going to go into a color that I think is really, really accurate. Now, I am sitting here in my LED lighting in my office, and so this color is going to look accurate to that same lighting. Now, if we're doing a yard sign or something like that, I might go outside and look at it in the sun, so I just get a really good color reference. The light will absolutely change the color that you're seeing here, and then the substrate, the paper that you're putting on, the material that you're putting on will absolutely change the color. So make sure you're, again, eliminating as many variables as you can. Use the same lighting that your customer is going to see. Use the same substrate, same material or paper that you're going to print the final product on when you're running through these swatches. If you make any changes to those variables, the colors aren't going to match again. And so I really like, when I'm looking at this down at my desk, I really like this 7967052, which is down in here. So I'm going to go back to my color swatch tool here, and I'm going to change the CMYK to 79, what did I say? 7967052. 7967052. And that's going to give me that color. And then what I'm going to do back up here is I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to go to tight. And you can see what that's done is that's given me a lot less range in these color swatches. And so I can really kind of tighten up what I'm looking at there. So again, I can save this as a PDF or the SVG. Got to move myself out of the way again. Save this. I'm just going to replace this file. You could, of course, save new files. It makes no difference here. I'm going to go into Illustrator, and I'm going to delete this file out of there so I don't confuse myself. And I'm going to place that swatch again, right about there. Okay. And I am going to embed that. Grab this, grab that color again to just get it a little tighter as I like it. And then I'm going to print this. And essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to zero in deeper and deeper on the color that I like, using the paper that I'm going to print the final product on, in the light that my customer is going to view the product in. And I can repeat this process as many times as I need to. Now I feel pretty good about what I see there. So I think I just have to do it one more time. But sometimes it may be challenging for you to dial in that color, and it might take you 5 or 10 times to try and get that color right. But we just keep zeroing in further and further until we get a color that we like. And generally that will be close enough for most businesses, for most buyers, print buyers, to use this. And it really helps take all the variables of all the different profiles and everything else out of the equation. If you are ripping this through some sort of ripping software, you're not just going file print like we would if we're doing grand format, then of course we're going through that whole process and maintaining all those variables the whole time. But I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Again, I know this is not the professional way to do it. There's all kinds of tools and processes out there, but this is kind of one of those ways that you can do this if you don't understand all the color theory. You just kind of, I don't know, going through and randomizing a color and trying to see if you can get very close. And this works probably 97, 98% of the time. I really hope you found this helpful. If you did, it'd be very helpful to like, comment, and subscribe. All the links are down in the description below. And thanks for watching.